Elbridge Colby's here, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Strategy and Force Development. Look, it's easy to sort of make fun of it. It's a serious topic. At the same time, this is a reasonable position, right? That if we can talk to the Chinese, if we can give them enough concessions, we can prove to them that we don't want to compete with them and destroy them, that therefore we are going to, the Chinese will finally see the light and become Americanized in their actions. You view that as dangerous.
Well, actually, I agree with you in this part that my view is that what we should be doing is speaking softly and carrying a big stick, right? So basically presenting the Chinese with a strong line, but giving them something to kind of stay reasonably content with, but then posing a military shield that they would, not risk a war to conduct aggression against. The problem is, I'm genuinely confused by the Biden administration, because they talk and their rhetoric and their meetings with the attempt to get meetings with the Chinese, it's almost plaintive. It's almost like a mendicant, like asking, pleading for a meeting. And Tony Blinken is there kind of bowing over to Xi Jinping, and Xi Jinping is presiding and all this kind of stuff. And then Yellen kind of saying, well, decoupling is bad and China is so important. But then at the same time, they're putting these semiconductor sanctions on, and President Biden calls them a dictator. And, the Pentagon is saying that it is the pacing threat, and there is, a threat of war over Taiwan is not imminent, but it's like, well, if, you're not going to die.
Is it crazy like a fox?
I don't think so, because I think actually the Chinese believe that we are trying to suppress and contain them. So it's just as bad it's actually worse than it's ever been, because a left-wing administration now, they believe, is trying to strangle them. That's the word Xi Jinping used. But at the same time, we're not actually strengthening our military shield enough. And so I actually think the Chinese might just be confused.
Are we actually trying to strangle them? If you watch what we're doing, not what we're saying, is it maybe that we're actually being tougher than you, other people give the Biden administration credit for?
Well, I actually don't think it really matters. I think it matters what they think. And I do think there are reasons to think that we are attempting to constrain their economic growth. I'm not against that in principle. My view is that we should modulate that and focus on the hard power shield, because we'll be lucky if we can get into a Cold War. We have to avoid getting into a hot war first.
Yeah, look, peace through strength.
Peace through strength.
That's what.
Peace through strength, but also speak softly, right? Measured, and give them. And that's the problem: is if we're speaking loudly or kind of being provocative, but not carrying a very big stick, that's very dangerous.
Yeah, and you can imagine the U.S. military that now has to back that up and is hearing people on Capitol Hill and others, beat their chest and say that, we're going to put the Chinese Navy at the bottom of the Taiwan Strait. And then you got to back that threat up with lives. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
The whole concept and sort of overarching this is this idea of climate change, Green New Deal, the Biden infrastructure package in terms of bringing electric vehicles to the United States. So much of it's mined in China, blah, blah, blah. John Kerry to visit China to restart climate negotiations. A year-long freeze in climate talks appears to be ending as the United States and China, the world's biggest polluter, resume discussions. Why is this such a huge part of America's policy towards China? And I ask that with the caveat that whatever the Chinese agree to, they're not going to do.
Well, I mean, a couple things. First of all, it's very telling that the people they've invited over are Tony Blinken, Janet Yellen, and John Kerry. Those are the pro-China people within the administration. Meantime, they're giving people like Lloyd Austin the Heisman. I was at the Shangri-La dialogue earlier in June, and they refused to even meet with him, right? So they're obviously bringing people over and seeking to empower people within the system who are seen as softer on China. Here's the thing about climate change, leaving aside my personal views on what we should do about it, and I'm not the world's expert on it, but here's something that's very clear. Climate change is not separable from the geopolitical situation. I mean, it has to do with differential economic growth over time. And the Chinese are acutely aware of this. So this idea of competing while cooperating, as one administration official put it a while ago, jousting in the South China Sea while we cooperate on climate, that's delusional. Of course, I mean, that's not how even domestic politics goes. It's much more ruthless in the House and Senate. Why would we expect the Chinese to think we're going to behave differently?
Republicans and Democrats can compete and cooperate. Why do you think China can?
Exactly. I mean, the people drive the hardest bargain they can in our own Congress. I mean, why would we expect differently with the Communist Party of China?
I guess that's the question. Why would we? And that brings us back to Lucy.
That's why I'm confused. I don't know. Maybe that's one reason.
Look, I applaud you because so many people come on and think that they understand it. We don't understand it. And I keep trying to figure out a way to explain the policy, and it's comforting to know someone smarter than me doesn't understand it either. It's good to see you.
I disagree with that. All right.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.